Hey everyone, it's Jananie and welcome back to my channel, This Story Ain't Over. So today I'm coming to you with my 7th TBR of 2021. It is July now, which is just so crazy to think about. So I'm really excited to talk about the books I'm going to be reading this month, but also some that I am currently reading. And I also want to talk a little bit about the sponsor of today's video, Book of the Month. So Book of the Month is a super popular, fast-growing online book service for readers. Their mission is to promote new and emerging authors and to help readers find books they love. So the way it works is that they vet hundreds of books and curate a specific list of new and soon-to-be-released books. Readers then have the choice to pick one book out of the 5 that are chosen that month to receive in their blue Book of the Month box, and that ensures that you spend less time searching for the next read and actually reading. One of the things that I found super interesting and really awesome about Book of the Month is that it has a really great skip policy, so it is totally risk-free. You can sign up, and at any point if you don't like the picks for that month, you can just skip that month and not get charged. Since I am Canadian, I will mention that this is a service that is US only. You must have a US shipping address, so they do not do international shipping. But regardless, I think Book of the Month is still super awesome because you get the best prices for new release hardcover fiction. That means that if you use my code SUNNY5, you can get your first Book of the Month for $9.99. And I'm really excited today because I get to show you the July picks for Book of the Month, and the first one is the one that I decided to get in my Book of the Month, which is Sisters in Arms by Kaya Alderson. This is really exciting because it is a historical fiction novel. It follows the legendary 6888, which is the first and only all-black battalion in the Women's Army Corps. So yeah, I'm super excited for Sisters in Arms because I love any historical fiction that follow people of color, so I think this is going to be really fantastic, and you guys should definitely go check out Book of the Month. Go to bookofthemonth.com, use my code SUNNY5 and get your first box for $9.99. But if you're not really feeling Sisters in Arms, there's a bunch of other picks, including Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby. This follows 2 ex-cons who go on a revenge plot to avenge their sons. And then next we have The People We Keep by Alison Larkin. This is a bit of a coming-of-age story set in the 1990s, following a young woman. The next one is super interesting, called 56 Days by Catherine Ryan Howard. This is a thriller set in COVID times, which very excited for. And then finally we have We Are the Brennans by Tracy Lange, and this is a family drama following an Irish Catholic family. So yes, those are all of the picks for Book of the Month for July. Definitely go to bookofthemonth.com or follow the link in my description and use my code SUNNY5 to get your first box and book for $9.99. Alright, so I'm super excited about Book of the Month, but let's get into the books that I'm currently reading right now. So I'm filming this a few days before the end of June, so I'm hoping to finish these last couple books before the end of the month and then dive into my July TBR. So those 2 books that I'm currently in the middle of and that I'm hoping to finish before the end of the month is Pouch Evolutions by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. I have been talking about this multiple times and how I want to read it, and I am like currently I think 2/3 in and absolutely loving it. It is one of the books that I've just been taking slowly and picking up a chapter or 2 every other night or whenever I have time. So it has been going slowly because I've been reading it slowly, but it's fantastic and I'm loving it, and I'm so grateful to all of you who told me to pick it up because it's just fantastic. And then I also want to talk a little bit about Dial A for Aunties by Jessie Q. Sutanto. So this was a book that I picked up because it's the Subtle Asian Book Club Pick of the Month for June, and I think I talked about it in a book haul. But yeah, it's sort of a like rom-com slash murder mystery going on along with some really awesome Asian aunties, and I think it's going to be a really fantastic time. I'm not very far in, maybe a chapter or 2, but I really do want to finish it before the end of the month so I can watch their live show for the Subtle Asian Book Club. I'm also just getting like a really good impression from this book just from like the very beginning. The author has like a author's note, and she talks about how her family moved from China to Indonesia and how she and her siblings moved to Singapore afterwards. So she has a really like varied background and a lot of cultures sort of mixed into the way she grew up, and so that is sort of reflected in the book, which I think is really interesting. So yeah, I'm really excited to sort of finish this off before the end of the month. Alright, so now on to the books that I want to actually pick up in July. So caveat here first that I probably won't actually get to all of these because July is going to be a pretty busy month for me. I am doing a whole room redecoration thing in July, at the beginning of July, I'm going to be creating an office room and a bedroom and redecorating them all and painting them all. So that's going to take like a lot of time and energy, and I've already spent so much time like looking for decor, so that's the thing. But you can definitely look forward to a whole like room redecoration and office transformation video on my second channel. I'm hoping to put both of those videos on my second channel. So yeah, I have that going on, and then I also have a mini little trip that I'm going on with my family within Canada, like quite nearby, just for like a weekend. So that's also going to be taking some time away, and then work has just been really busy. So I thought I would just give you a mini life update there, that my July month is going to be busy, but I'm hoping during that little trip that I'll be able to like sit by the water and do some reading. So the first book that I want to read in July is The Chosen and the Beautiful by Nee Vo. I am super excited for this one, and I've talked about it multiple times now. It is a Great Gatsby retelling from the perspective of Jordan Baker, but reimagining her as Vietnamese American, and she's like adopted, and she is also like a amazing golf player as Jordan Baker is, but she's sort of seen as this sort of exotic person in the society during this time. But she's also just like sort of badass, and I'm really excited to read this, and I believe there's like a magical element as well, but I'm curious to see how it's going to play into the retelling. I have heard from some reviewers that like it's basically a straight retelling of The Great Gatsby and like a lot of these similar plot points and scenes, I believe. So yeah, I'm really curious to see how this goes, and it's a quite short book as like The Great Gatsby is, so I'm excited to pick this up and just sort of devour it. Alright, the next book is one that I've been so excited about because it's just been all over book Twitter, and I feel like a lot of people have read this and loved it, and that is Ace of Spades by Farida Abike-Iyamide. And this one I'm just so excited for because it's a Get Out meets Gossip Girl situation where these two kids at this private academy are receiving these like anonymous texts, I think, that are revealing things about them, secrets about them, to the entire school, and so they're trying to figure out what's going on, and there's a whole sinister element to this, and I'm just really excited for this. I think it's gonna be fantastic, and I also know for a fact that the two main characters are queer, which makes me really excited. So yeah, I'm just really excited for this. And I also feel like I haven't read like a thrilling YA in a really long time. I don't usually read YA thrillers, and I don't usually read thrillers in general, even though I really like crime shows, funnily enough. But yeah, I'm just kind of excited for the mystery thriller-ish element of this. Alright, the next book that I want to pick up is one that I mentioned in my mid-year book freakout tag, and that is The Other Black Girl by Zakia Delilah Harris. So this one is like a new release that I really want to get to and pick up, and I heard about this when it was first announced, like the deal was first announced, and I was super excited about it because the author actually worked in publishing for a few years before leaving publishing to write this book, and this book is actually set in like a publishing house and examines publishing culture and the workplace environment, especially how it is for Black employees, but also like people of color. And so in that way, I really relate to this situation, and I'm curious to see how it's gonna go. And it involves a bit of a mystery sort of thriller element in the sense that the main character starts to get these threatening messages, and she's trying to figure out what's sort of going on there. But yeah, really excited for this. If any of you have read this, I would love to hear what you thought of it, especially if you work in publishing. Alright, the next book is one that I don't feel like I've mentioned a lot. I think I mentioned it in my anticipated releases for the rest of 2021 video, but it recently came in the mail because it's coming out the week I'm filming this, and that is Gear Breakers by Zoe Hana Mikuta. And I'm so excited for this one because it is a YA sci-fi with a sapphic romance at the forefront, and I'm just, it just makes me so excited. I love sci-fi, I love sapphic romances, so this is like everything for me. But it involves like sort of a tyrannical rule and the government sort of using these like mechanized weapons, and our main character is a bit of a rebel who knows how to take down these wind-ups from the inside, but she finds herself in jail at one point and meeting our other main character, who is a cybernetically enhanced pilot for one of these mechanized weapons, but she's sort of a double agent in the sense that she's trying to take things down from the inside. And so the two of them are teaming up together to take down this tyrannical rule. And I am very excited. I have heard amazing things about this from people who have read early copies, so I just cannot wait. And I feel like I haven't read like a really good sci-fi in a while, so I'm excited for this. Alright, and then the next book that I really want to pick up this month is Version 0 by David Yoon. So if you guys have been following my channel for any amount of time, you probably know that I love Frankly in Love by David Yoon. It is one of my favorite YA contemporaries ever, and this is actually David Yoon's adult debut novel, and I'm really excited for this because I really loved like David Yoon's voice and his writing style, but I also was super interested in this because David Yoon actually worked in like the tech space for becoming a writer, and this follows a main character who works for like this social media tech company and is pointing out how the way that they're using data might not be totally ethical, and he is basically like shut down and fired and blackballed across the industry, and so he can't find another job. From what I can tell from the description, he teams up with this other girl who works at this different company, I believe, and who's like partly his crush, and the two of them decide that they're going to reboot the internet, whatever that means, but sort of this idea of like shutting everything down and making everyone start again. And I'm really curious about this. I love any sort of like sci-fi or social commentary on the idea of like social media and how it affects our lives and just like tech companies today. I just love that sort of idea. So yeah, I just think this will be like really, really interesting, and I'm curious to discover how I feel after. I feel like it'll be something really interesting to discuss as well. All right, and then the final book that I want to pick up this month is a bit of a stretch because it's a massive book, and I probably won't get to it this month because my month is already busy to begin with, but that is the Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri. So this is Tasha Suri's newest book. She has two other books, Empire of Sand and Realm of Ash, I believe. I own both, but I have not read them yet, but I was super interested in this one because I know it involves a sapphic romance, which just made me super excited. And this is actually the Illumicrate edition that I got. If you want to check out the unboxing for it, I'll leave it linked here or in the description because that box was fantastic and this edition is gorgeous. But yeah, this follows a princess named Malini and a maidservant named Priya, and the two of them end up in this unlikely situation, sort of helping each other out, and they're trying to sort of overthrow the tyrannical rule of Malini's brother, who is keeping her captive in this temple. I think it's gonna be fantastic, and I'm really excited to see like how it goes. I've heard amazing things about it from people who have read like Tasha Suri's previous books and this one, so I cannot wait to pick this up. Alright, but those are all the books that I want to pick up in July. I would love it if you guys would let me know in the comments if you're excited to read any of these books or if you have read any of them and what you thought of them. As always, I love hearing your opinions on the books you've read, and it really does shape my reading. And I want to say thank you so much to Book of the Month for sponsoring today's video. Definitely go check out the link in my description if you guys want to learn more about them, and please go use my code SUNNY5 to get your first box for $9.99 rather than the regular. Whenever you guys use the codes or links that I put in the description, it really does help out my channel and allows me to continue doing all of this stuff on the regular, so I really appreciate all of you who do support me in that way, and yeah, I just wanted to express my gratitude. But yeah, that's about all I have. I would love to also hear like what you guys are up to in July. Is there anything you're excited for? What are you going to be up to for your hot boy or girl, or you know, however you identify summer? I just would really love to chat more with you guys, I guess, and I'm just excited for all the things to come, and I hope you will be looking forward to my second channel. If you haven't subscribed to it already, it is linked on my channel. If you go to like the channels tab on my channel, you should be able to find it, but it's just my name, Jananie K. Velu. But yeah, I'm just really excited to do more like lifestyle, journaling, and some productivity content as well, because that's the type of content that I watch the most on YouTube, to be honest. I love productivity content. So yeah, if you are curious about any of those subjects and would love to hear more, definitely go check out my second channel. I'll be hopefully uploading more on there towards the end of July. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in my next video, and please remember that this story ain't over. Bye!